All right, so we're at Benson's Grill in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Today is the 9th of January. Happy New Year. I'm excited to be sitting here with Hayden Nance, a featured artist for Volume 4 of Smacked. Technically, it's the December 2022 issue. We all know that came out late. But we don't have to talk about that because we're here to talk with Hayden. And my first question for you is, how would you like to introduce yourself to Fort Smith, Arkansas and the surrounding area listeners?
Wow, what a big question. I think I would just like to introduce myself as probably the most amazing artist of these times. I'm just kidding. Just Hayden, I guess. Fort Smith, Fort Shit. You really made your mark on me. Positive, yeah. Negative, for sure. But I love you guys. Fond memories here. Yeah. Thank you. How was that? Was that good?
I absolutely loved that. And every bit of dialogue from here on out is going in this podcast. Like, the whole time I'm recording, I don't know how to slice it up. So everything just goes in.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I feel like I stand by what I said.
You said, was it good? And I'm like, yeah, it is, because it's going in.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
a little
okay.
self-conscious, you guys. I've never been on an actual
He's doing great.
podcast that I knew would be released. So that's definitely, this is new to me.
What else is new to you with this artistic experience you've had in here since you moved? Tell people where you moved from. Where are you from?
Okay, yeah. So let me, you know what, we'll just rewind to birth.
Yeah.
Born in Arizona, but grew up in Texas. Lived in Forney for a majority of my life. It's a suburban, well, it was a farm turned suburban town that is not too far from Dallas. And then in 2016, I moved to, don't get my side profile, I have a really big nose. Tanner's trying to take pictures.
We have a guest star, Tanner Schmuck, one of the models featured, and Hayden Nance's feature. Anyway, that was my interjection.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
model. She was a part of this process. Excuse my sniffles, by the way. It's a little chilly. So I moved to Eureka Springs, Arkansas in 2016, and I think that is when my art kind of started to become a lot more serious to me. Although I did start...
Thank you so much.
Napkins. Here's some ketchup for your french fries and stuff.
Thank you.
See that? That lid doesn't look like it's on right. Say it's cross-threaded.
Oh, thank you for looking at that. Appreciate it.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, that would have been
yeah.
a catastrophe. We were just saved from a ketchup catastrophe.
A catastrophe.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a wittier way to say that. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, even though I had been drawing since the 4th grade, I didn't really get much encouragement from like the schools until I had moved to Eureka Springs, and I got a lot of opportunities to start creating art that really meant something to me. And I had a really supportive art teacher, Miss Cummings. I don't know if you'll ever hear this, but like, you're the best. Love you. But she just really encouraged me to pursue art, and I went from wanting to do psychology and when I went to college, to deciding I wanted to pursue art. And I actually got a couple scholarships from my art pieces that I had submitted to, various contests and stuff like that. And then one summer day, I got a call getting an offer for a scholarship to move to Fort Smith. Because I had applied, but then I decided I didn't want to go because I just didn't have the money, and I was trying to avoid the student debt because you guys know, everyone knows, that's a big scary problem. So I was just gonna go to NWAC, but then I got a call and they were offering me a scholarship. So within a month, I decided I was going, and after 2 months, I had moved to Fort Smith, and I was pursuing a studio art degree, and now I am 3 classes out from graduating.
Hell yeah, friend.
Very happy, very excited.
Good for you.
And I'm not gonna say it's been like all positive because there's definitely been some lows. Like I have videos of me crying, you know. But I think I've really just been pushed in.
You have videos. You have videos of you crying.
Yeah.
Why'd you take videos of you crying?
Oh, because like sometimes you just get critiqued and you're just like, whoa, like that really sucks.
Oh, so there's like live footage of you being critiqued.
No. Like it's like I took a Snapchat video of the aftermath. And I'm like, hey guys, you know, I'm like vlogging to my friends.
I see. Okay, I was trying to decipher. I was like, what kind of crying? It was caught on camera.
Yeah, no,
I guess I
recorded myself.
I've definitely started crying on FaceTime.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm so
done
sorry.
It a couple times.
I interjected. I was like, wait, videos of you crying.
Yeah, no. I feel like all college students have videos of them crying nowadays. Like it's in. And it almost like it can make you kind of.
Thank you.
Y'all look at these.
Oh.
I know you guys can't see, but like y'all see that.
Oh my god.
Dig in.
So how did do you ever feel like if you would have started out in one place and stayed there, how do you think all of those experiences add up to thank you. You're welcome. How do you think all of those experiences add up to the way that your creative process is, and how do you think all those changes affected the way you do your art?
And
what your subject matter, I mean, just how do you think overall, subject matter wise, anything?
So the interesting thing is, with going to school, like through art, and yeah, I have like a style I think you can kind of see.
Oh yeah.
And there's certain themes I like to explore, like I like pretty things, I also like creepy things, but overall, my subject matter has kind of been, in a way, restrained. I've always had to think within a certain box for assignments, so I feel like only certain assignments have been like me, and I'm not exactly sure why I approach those things. Like I'm not sure why I'm interested in them or why I just like decide on those subject matters. Like with horror, I like it. Why do I like it? Because it's fun. Like it's fun, and I think everyone likes to be scared. That makes me sound like a psychopath.
That's exactly what Quentin Tarantino said to an interviewer. She said, so why all the violence? Why all the gore? He said, because it's so much fun, Jan. And so when he said, because it's fun, I was like, oh my god, you sound like Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, it's true.
It is fun.
It is fun.
Have you ever watched Kill Bill and not laughed? Have you ever just watched Kill Bill and not laughed? Tell me. Look at me in the face and tell me you've not laughed your ass off throughout Kill Bill. It's fun. You're not a psycho. You've never seen Kill Bill.
No.
Hayden.
But I have watched Django and The Hateful Eight, and so I am familiar with Tarantino's.
Those are the only two?
Yeah, I'm sure another one. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I've watched his newer stuff, and I've watched bits and scenes from Kill Bill. It's on my to-watch list. I'm not unaware of the movie, and I'm not just interested in it. I just haven't gotten to it yet, okay?
So what's your favorite movie? What's a movie that has kind of been... I know you like Scream.
Yeah, that's it, period. She's got it.
It's like the movie you like.
I had like different periods of that movie like in my life. It's really interesting. So, I originally remember watching it with my cousins at my grandma's house, and my cousin yelling up the scream about her running up the stairs after she was just talking about not running up the stairs. And then when I was like 13 or 14, it was on Netflix, and I watched it, and I was like, oh my god, the vibes in this movie are just immaculate. Yes, it's a horror movie, but it's just like purely 90s. It's like,
it really is.
Because it was parodying like all the other films of its time and also of its like past, and so it just like it encapsulates like I think a lot of, I don't know,
It represents a
like-
shift away from the traditional slasher teen movie.
Yeah.
It's like way better, way more cinematic and dramatic than that. It makes it more serious, which makes it a little bit less corny and more campy. Like it's really like a very prominent line.
And what's
in the scene.
interesting about that is it's become now the cliche. What like broke and went against all the cliches is now
Yeah.
the cliche.
Yeah.
You know, people are very familiar with that, and I don't know, it's interesting. But that's a movie that definitely, I don't know, it takes something that is very scary, but it also makes it fun. I don't know. There's a lot of people that like horror movies out there. And if you find your way to this podcast, then hi, we should be friends.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Everybody should be friends with Hayden because he's a sweet angel.
That's so true.
It is true. Everybody knows. Everybody who's ever met you, they're like, oh my god, he's so nice.
Is that what they say?
Yeah. They say, oh my god. For those of you who couldn't hear that, they say, oh my god, he's so nice.
He's so nice. I really am.
You really are. Let me think.
I feel like I dodged a question there. I feel like there was a question you asked that I didn't answer.
Oh, we were talking about how like the way you've been around has influenced, and so you were talking about class, but then we got off on a different subject after you talked about class. So how would your experiences in life, how does that shape your artistic process? So talk more about your art. Like, what is your favorite project you've ever done? What is like the most painful or hard project you've ever done? Get vulnerable if you feel like it.
You know what's so funny? The most painful art project I've done isn't because of like passion or anything like that. It was just this. We had to do an alter ego portrait, and it was a very chaotic time in my life. And I'm not even going to go into that because if I do, then I will be on 10 different tangents.
Yeah, me too.
But I had to stay up. I pulled almost an all-nighter one night to get this drawing done, and I had like burned my hand from it rubbing against the paper, and like all my fingertips were like worn down, and I got 2 hours of sleep, and then I went in for the critique, and I think I got my grade back later, and it was like kind of shit. But that day I had a complete like breakdown because I went to work after that, which was so stupid. I should have taken off, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I learned from my mistakes.
Honestly, people who some people have pressure applied to them so that they feel they have to overwork whenever they're ill, and it's just like you need rest.
Unfortunately, I do it to myself.
Oh,
no
yeah.
one, if I ever called my mom to ask her what I should have done, she'd be like, "You're so silly. Why would you just call into work?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I don't know." Okay, back to the hardest project. Yeah, and it was I didn't get a very good grade on it. He said it didn't read as like a complete image, so it didn't get displayed, which was kind of a bummer. And that was a very tough project for me, and the professor was very tough. But what's funny is one of my favorite projects was from the same class at the beginning of the semester.
That plate's kind of long on the bottom. Be careful.
Alright, and before
Oh no!
it's okay. Happens. This happened last time too. But before we wrap this up, I want you to finish your thought on your favorite projects, and I want you to close out the interview any way you'd like, with whatever tidbits and projects you have coming up, or anything you'd like.
Okay. So, we'll do this. So
Yeah, I can get that out of your way.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. And
There we go.
there we go. Here. There we go. All right. Can I get you anything else?
My food. I'm so hungry. Go ahead.
But I got to explore some horror themes, and it was really exciting, and that class just really pushed me. And I appreciate that. It was rough, but I like it. And this next upcoming semester, I will be doing my capstone, which, be a complete overview of, like, my entire time in the degree. And there will be a day for when I presented my capstone. And I hope that I'll put that information out. You guys can find that on my Instagram, and that's in the zine. So go look. Oh, I tripped up on the words. It was going so smooth. Go look at that. And yeah, I would appreciate it if y'all came. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you, Hayden.
That was messy. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry.
We all went a little bit British. Sorry to all the real British people who probably won't even hear this. What do you have to say, Tanner? Would you like to say anything? Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So everybody go get you Zine Volume 4.
Zine Volume 4.
Go go look at the... I'm really hungry. Good night, Fort Smith.
Good night, Fort Smith.